I thought I'd do a few reviews on rifles I've got, but I realised that there's 1,000 reviews on all sorts of rifles, a million reviews on YouTube. So I thought I'd take a look at a rifle that's probably not quite as popular, and it's a Baikal, made in Russia. This one's in 223. I've owned them in 308, 222 and 223. I've had this one for about 12 years. Probably put about, I suppose, 1,000 rounds through it or something. I understand they have chrome bores, so the barrel probably lasts forever. And as I say, I put about 1,000 rounds through this, and the action's still as tight as when we bought it. There's no play in it at all. Yeah. I'll give you the vital statistics. The barrel's back to the breech is about 20 inches long, 55 centimetres, and it's got a nice pattern on the barrel from they call it hammer forging or whatever. Looks like some real flash European rifle. The woodwork on them is probably not European, it's probably closer to Chinese or something. This one's looks like some sort of beech or something. I understand now you can buy them in synthetic stock. Yeah. So I thought rather than just give a quick review of the rifle, I'd give a few tips on how to get the best from them. And probably the first thing that you need to address with one of these rifles is scope mounting. This one's a 223, and I've mounted an extension from, I think it's from one of the lever action rifles, either the Winchester or the Marlin 336. And for the 223 it's fine, it looks a bit agricultural sticking out over the end of the action. But you sort of got to do that to get the right eye relief. The dovetails that are machined into the rifle are only 5 centimetres long, which is not really enough to give you a good adjustment as far as eye relief goes. So I've mounted it like this, and as I say, I've had the same mounting system on it since I've owned the rifle, and I've never had to re-zero the scope or anything like that or sight it in. Every time I shoot it, it's shooting spot on. Yeah, so as far as getting the best out of the rifle, if you get a good scope mount on it, that's a good start. With the 308 calibre, when I first bought it, I had all sorts of trouble getting it to shoot well. And the main problem was I had a one-piece scope mount on it that was made out of alloy. And the earlier models of these, including this one here, and the 308 I have, don't have a recoil stop in the dovetail. So what would happen when I fired it, every time it recoiled, the scope mount would always shift backwards a wee bit. And I never realised until I actually took the scope mount apart and saw that it was actually slivers of metal that were coming off it. Because the scope mount was alloy and the receiver on it's steel, so yeah, it was always going to cause issues. So yeah, with the larger calibers, you really need to address a good solid mounting system. One option is to take it to your gunsmith and get him to actually fix a rail to the top of it. And I understand that there is Sun Optics, I think is the maker. They actually make a mount system for these that fits securely onto the dovetail. If you've got one of the later models with a recoil stop, it fits into the recoil stop, and it gives you an extra few centimetres of mounting radius for the scope. So yeah, if you can get a good scope mounting system, there's plenty of potential there for good accuracy. Now, most people write a single shot rifle off as not being very modern or anything, because it's Russian, you know, it's not going to be accurate. But I found with this rifle, in the 223, that it's quite easy to, especially if you hand load, to get groups of maybe 3-shot groups between 10 and 20 millimeters. the particular loads I've worked up. Usually shoot about 15mm grips, which is quite impressive. It's good for any rifle, especially good for a rifle that only cost me $300. And I do use this rifle quite a lot. I've got a whole heap of rifles and different calibers and all sorts of things, but yeah, I like the simplicity of the single shot. Yeah. The next thing you probably have to address if you're going to shoot this gun really well is the trigger on it. It just fits together like this. Now the problem with the trigger is that this gun's essentially a shotgun, and as such it's got a shotgun trigger on it. Now you can take it to a gunsmith and get it smoothed out a wee bit, but you need to be wary of which gunsmith you use, because one of the things it will do if you play around with the internals too much is when you shoot it, it could discharge. So you need to be wary if you're buying a second-hand one of anyone who's actually done the trigger work themselves. As it is, you know, it's got a push button safety. I've never had any problems with discharging when it shouldn't, and this gun's totally original. I've never had any trigger work or anything done on it. So one of the tips to getting it to shoot well is to learn how to use the trigger on it. You know, on your flash $6,000 rifle, you might be able to just put a fingertip on it and gently caress the trigger. But on this rifle I found that the trick is to actually use that joint in your finger there. Make sure you've got plenty of finger on the trigger, and try and pull straight through. You know, you're using the strongest part of your finger. And there's the trigger. I wouldn't say the trigger's terrible, but it's somewhere between adequate and agricultural. So it is essential to learn good trigger habits, I guess you'd say. Where the gun shines is running shots. I use this gun mostly for hare shooting, and probably half the hares I shoot are on the run, and it's gun very good for this. This gun is very good for that because it is essentially a shotgun and it points the same way. Yeah. So yeah, the second tip to getting it to shoot well is learn how to control your trigger. Now the third thing that you'll find is that if you use factory ammo in it, and I guess with a cheap rifle you probably are going to, you're probably not going to get the best from it. I reload, and I have other 223s as well, so I've got all the gear, and I found there's a little tip to when you reload for getting your seating depth right. What you do is you get your bullet all ready to go and what you think might be a good length. And you make the bullet a wee bit longer than what you think it's going to be. You drop it in the chamber like that. Gee, that one's a bit tight, but yeah, I'm not going to use that one again. Yeah, if you've resized your brass correctly, you drop it in the chamber there, and you can usually just remove it by just moving this with your finger, and you actually feel when it engages the land. And then I found the most accurate position for it is that you seat the bullet out until it engages the land, and then you just wind it back a little bit so you get a little bit of free bore. And that seems to be quite reliable as far as getting bullets to shoot. And the bullets I've had the best results with are the lighter bullets. And in theory the barrel twist's 1 in 12, or close enough to it. So it probably should shoot bullets well up to 60 grains. But as yet I've never found a bullet over about 55 grains that really shoot well. And the ones I've had the best results with are bullets like I've got a little Hornet bullet here that traditionally you meant to load it in a 22 Hornet, 45 grains. This one's a Nostra solid base. And it's a bit hard to see because it's so small. But when you load that up with a decent amount of powder, it's easy to achieve about 3,500 feet per second. And driven at that speed, you know what they say about speed killing, it's certainly quite effective. Another bullet I've had good results with these are older style Nostra solid base. It's a solid base bullet, but it was sort of a predecessor to the green tip things. They don't make them anymore, but I pick up packets of them on the second hand market. They shoot pretty good, and they hold together. So the most important thing when you're shooting light bullets at high speeds is you get a bullet that's going to hold together. Bullets that I found don't work very well is I've got a 52 grain spear here, and they shoot like dogs. The Baikal bullets, sorry, they're not Baikal, they're Barnell, made in the Barnell arsenal, the 55 grain soft tip. The accuracy from them's not bad, but not fantastic. But it's a 55 grain bullet, and it's the older traditional style bullet that mushrooms to about twice its size and stays in one piece. So from that point of view, it's a good bullet on larger game. I've heard good things about using full metal jacket bullets in a 223. That's probably a whole new topic. But yeah, anyhow, I found that generally speaking, if you stick to the lighter bullets, a lot of factory loadings are about 55 grains. But if you get down into the 50 grain and the 45 grains, yeah, they tend to shoot pretty good. 40 grain ballistic tips another bullet that goes quite well. And I've had good results with the orange tip things. They're very accurate. I'm not sure I'd use them anything bigger than a, I don't know, mouse or something, but yeah, as far as accuracy goes, they're good. Probably the best game stopper I've used of these ones is actually the 45 grain, 45 grain Hornet bullets. I've shot quite a solid red stag with one of those through the shoulder, and it seemed to do the business. Yeah. Anyhow, the focus is more on the actual Baikal gun than the calibre as such. From that point of view, I guess the best attributes of the gun are the fact that it's cheapish, although the price is getting up on them now, and the price is probably equivalent to some of the cheaper bolt action rifles. The variety of calibres is good. If you were going to take someone young out hunting and you didn't want to spend a lot on a rifle for them, you can do worse than get one of these in a 243 calibre, and it'd be a great deer rifle for a young person. Probably another good calibre is the 7.62 by 39. Quite a lot of people around where I come from buy them and thread the barrel for a suppressor, and you can load some of the heavy 30 calibre bullets in it and use them subsonic. What else about it? Yeah, just the three things you really need to deal with to get a good performance from it is the scope mount, learn how to use the trigger, and maybe look at reloading for it. So my last tip before my 15 minutes of fame are up is if you want to know what you're going to do with your bullets, you hold them in your hand like that. So you've got 3 spare shots, or you use one of the slip over neoprene cartridge holders like I've got on my double rifle.